I don't need you here. I do need you to fill those holes. Oh, I see Tiffany now.
What?
I can see you now.
Can you read that?
I had a premonition. I have to, is it chocolate? Probably. I needed an SD card because I had a feeling I was going to need to record today for some reason.
Okay, is it in?
Yeah.
Okay. You weirdo.
I'd like this bald spot. Going, yeah. Yes.
Look at everybody in the chat. Welcome back, Tiffany. Welcome back.
Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. I can't see the chat right now because I'm trying to cover up my bald spot.
Well, Kat says welcome back, and Sylvia, and Caitlin, and Daniela, and Teresa, and Terry, and Rachel.
Hello, friends. Thank you so much for welcoming me back. Happens to be on a day where my voice isn't super awesome, but
Are you under the weather from back to school bugs?
probably.
Yeah.
I'm under the weather for sure. I don't know if it's back to school, but hold on. I thought I was going to sneeze. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying to Dave, I think it's that season. The kids have been back a week or two, and now they're bringing back every funky bacteria and germ, and it's starting to run through the house.
That's amazing.
Mm.
I love that for you.
Yeah, I don't.
Hey, by the way, I'm not on social media, but when I was going to share this in the supporters, I saw Sylvia. Who the frick is Sylvia? Sophia's hair, and I love it.
Okay, well, we can talk about that.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and get started. So welcome to this week's episode of Take It or Leave It, where I am joined once again with my marvelous co-host. Her name is Tiffany. She's here again.
Hi, I'm Tiffany, and I'm here again. Welcome to the show. I missed you all and wanted to come back and say hello.
Yeah. So even though you're not back on social media, I think it was amazing that you decided that you could come back to the podcast because you have been missed.
Oh, thank you. How's it been going?
Good. Dave and I did a couple of shows, and you know,
Dave did them with you?
Yeah, he hated it. He hated all of it.
That's why he texted me this morning.
What did he say?
He said, "I'm so effing happy that you're back," with a reel of a guy without a shirt on saying you are awesome.
Oh, well,
It wasn't like an attractive.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what you're into. But I think the whole joke of it was that he was purposefully not attractive. So anyway, I will warn everybody that yes, I have missed you. This podcast totally felt doable for me with where I'm at. I will say that I a couple of things that may go wrong. I may start crying randomly, and I may get offended easily about something, and also I may reach up in my brain for words and they might not be there. Those are the three worst things that could happen. Knock on wood.
Okay.
I knocked on wood.
Okay, good. All right, because you never know.
I know a meteor crashes through my house.
Or like one of those airplanes drops a frozen poop toilet thing from like when that happened and it crashed through somebody's roof. That's a thing that happens.
I don't think that's a thing that
Frozen poop. Yeah, they like drop it out of the airplanes and it lands through people's houses. It's happened.
That's horrible.
It is horrible. But
why is it frozen? Why are they freezing people's poop?
They don't freeze it, but when they dump it, it freezes because they're so high in the sky. It's cold.
When they dump it?
Yeah, the poo out of the planes.
They don't dump poo out of planes, Meredith.
Okay.
Meredith, are you telling me that they dump poo out of planes? Are you being serious or are you not?
I'm just saying it's happened. It's okay. Don't worry about it, though. It's like a thing that's going to happen to you today.
Okay, but generally speaking, at any moment, we could get hit with a frozen shit.
No, I don't know. It's happened, but you're not supposed to do that. Nobody's supposed to be dumping poop in the sky. It's just accidental duties have occurred sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. That really just effed me up. Like, I'm still to this day, I'll learn a fact about something and just be so shocked. And that would have been one of them. Like, no way everybody knew this and I didn't.
Yeah, no, it's anyway. But yeah, so all right. So I did go live yesterday and was talking about you coming back to let the supporters and the Patreon peeps know that you were coming back so that they made sure to tune in because you're still not back on social, but that you'd be here for the podcast. And I did mention that I would be sharing something today. So I wanted to ask you, did you want to
Nope.
not do a recap
Nope.
at all? Okay, great. So then I guess we should just dive in with my airplane poop.
Yeah, I would love to dive into your poop.
Okay, great. So I'm going to preface some of this with just some background information for those who either haven't followed or as sort of a recap. But for those of you who've been around a while, if you've been listening to the podcast or you're just somebody who comes on social media and sees my stuff occasionally, on December 30th of 2024, I decided that I was done drinking alcohol. I didn't really discuss it much further. I just said that I was not doing that anymore, and I wasn't drinking, and I didn't really spend a lot of time discussing that, but it's time to kind of talk about that a little bit because it's something that has become a much bigger part of my life and one that I guess I could keep not talking about it, but it feels like it's hiding.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to hide it. So I'd rather just bring it out into the open and talk about it. So December 30th, 2024, I decided that I wasn't going to drink anymore. And I knew that if I drank on New Year's Eve, if I went to this party that we were supposed to go to and I drank on New Year's Eve, that I would bring it into 2025. And if I brought it into 2025, I knew that things in my life weren't going to get better, but they were going to get worse. And so I decided on the 30th, like right before the buzzer, I was going to quit drinking, or at least, quote, take a break, which I've taken lots of breaks from alcohol over the years. None were ever permanent.
Right.
They were just breaks. They were occasional breaks. But when your book came out?
June 3rd.
Okay. So I had been thinking a lot about my drinking, and I had been talking a lot about my drinking in therapy, and I had been talking to you a lot about my drinking. Yes. And this is not the first time that I've talked to you about my drinking.
Correct.
I've talked to you on a couple of different occasions, trying to get you to tell me that I had a problem with my drinking. And never would you say that I did have a problem with it, because it's not your job to tell me that I had a problem with my drinking. It's my own job to realize that I had a problem with my drinking. And so I had spent a lot of time over the last, at that point, couple of months talking with my therapist about it, talking with you about it. And it wasn't until, I would say, so January, February, March, April, maybe early May, end of April, early May, I started having conversations with my therapist, and I said, Nancy, I think I'm an alcoholic. And she stopped and she smiled. And she said, I'm proud of you. And I said, for being an alcoholic? She said, I'm proud of you for recognizing that you, in fact, have a problem with drinking and that you've stopped drinking and that you are now ready to do something about your drinking. And admitting it is the first thing. And so I had that conversation with her, and then I had a conversation with you, and I wasn't, I don't know, 30 pages into your book, and I texted you, and I started talking to you about, I think, I'm an alcoholic. I'm having all these feelings. I'm reading your book. Like, what should I do? And you just said, go to a meeting. Check it out. See what AA is all about. And it really was the first time that I started thinking about actively doing something about it. Because I was not drinking.
Right.
But I was, I guess, what they would consider a dry drunk.
You were white knuckling.
I was white knuckling. I was having dreams about drinking and not fun, yay, girls trip drinking, like right. Finding empty bottles all over the house, not remembering that I was drinking, and then feeling guilty, waking up in the middle of the night feeling guilty that I had drank. And I told you about that, and you were like, yeah, I think you need to hit a meeting maybe. Like, you should just check it out. You should give it a try. And I'm getting hot. I'm starting to sweat. I'm remembering my first meeting right now. Oh. The crying that took place. Dear God. So
you went.
I went. So Tiffany says to me, I think maybe you should hit a meeting. Maybe you should check it out, see what this is all about. And I went, I think you told me the website, like the, you gave me, meetings. Yeah, you gave me the meeting website. And so I looked it up and I was like, oh, I know right where this place is. Mm-hmm. And there's a meeting today and it's at noon. And so I don't remember if I started crying driving there. I know I was hot. I know I was sweaty. I know I was nervous, but I walked up and these four ladies were sitting out back, smoking, and they were like, hey, we haven't seen you before. Are you new? And I was like, I am. And they're like, can I hug you? And I was like, fuck, of course.
Yeah.
Let's dive right into this.
Yeah.
Of course. And so I started getting hugs from these women, and they're like, are you visiting? And I was like, no, I live here. This is just my first meeting. And they're like, your first meeting? Oh, congratulations. Let me hug you again. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So these women were just so wonderful and so nice and so kind. And so I go into the meeting and I sit down and the room fills up very quickly. And there's probably 30, 40 people in this room. And, they start the meeting, with the serenity prayer, and then they get into the meeting, and then it's time to go around the room and you have to say your name and you have to introduce yourself as an alcoholic. And it was the first time that I had to do that. And I lost my shit. I said, hi, I'm Meredith and I'm an alcoholic. And everybody in the room in unison says, hi, Meredith. And I was just done. And I think I sobbed through the entirety of the meeting. And it was, honest to God, the first time in my life that I ever felt completely, wholeheartedly seen by another group of human beings who I shared a vicious mental illness with. Yes. To the point where it had taken things from our lives, it had harmed relationships, it had hurt people we cared about. It had hurt ourselves. And it took years to come to terms with the fact that the way in which I drank was not normal. And I knew it. And I knew it the whole time. I knew I was never a person that could sit and have a glass of wine or 2 glasses of wine or 3 glasses of wine. When I sat to drink, I drained a bottle of wine. And it was acceptable.
Right.
It was normal. It was okay because you're a mom and you had a long day. It was okay because I was still getting up and packing lunches for the kids. It was okay because I would get up and have a hangover and I'd struggle through it, but I did it. And so it was okay, right? Like it was okay to do those things because I didn't miss the graduation or the ceremony. But it's funny because I always thought like morning people are so stupid. Nobody gets up in the morning. And that's because I didn't want to get up in the morning because I felt like shit.
Hungover.
I would be hungover a couple days, you know? Like I wasn't drinking every night, but it definitely got bad during the pandemic because it was completely acceptable to drink every day during the pandemic.
Yeah, we thought we were going to die.
Yeah, everybody was like, well, the zombies are coming. Just open another bottle.
Yeah. You were a functional.
I thought, and how I would categorize myself was a functional, responsible alcoholic because I could schedule my drinking and I could say, I've made it all the way through Wednesday. That's halfway through the week. Let's have some wine.
Yeah.
And then by Thursday, you're like, shit, we're almost at Friday. Let's have a little more. And then Friday, you'd clear out the schedule and be like, we're going out. We're going to have drinks with the friends. We're having dinner. We're having a great time. And when other people at the table stopped after 2 drinks, I just had a 3rd and then a 4th. And then Dave, because he always takes care of me and he always made sure that I was okay, he'd drive me home. I didn't have to worry about driving. I have a driver. He's going to take care of me. He's going to make sure I get home. And he managed me. So the reason that I was able to be a functional, quote, responsible alcoholic, which those are complete oxymorons, is because Dave managed me. Dave has managed me for 20 plus years. And he took the brunt of all of this because if we're being as transparent as possible, I drank to take care of the symptoms of my mental illness. I drank as medicine. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I had overwhelming anxiety. I had episodes with my mental illness where I was absolutely not logically thinking, seeing things straight, seeing things for what they were. I drank to quiet the voices that were telling me the awful things that weren't true, that I put all my belief in them, but they weren't true. And I drank as medicine. That's what I was doing. I was medicating because I've been honest that I've tried 11, 12 at this point. I think Rexulti was my 12th medication that I've tried to deal with my mental illness, and none of them.
I was like, who's Rick Salty? Who the fuck? What did he do? Mental illness.
He didn't help either. But what I learned over a lot of step work now and being in AA and coming up on my
Tell people the frequency. Tell them what it's been like since your first meeting.
Okay, so I went to my first meeting and then I told Tiffany that I had gone and we had a little chat about it. I told Dave that I went.
Did you tell him that you didn't tell me until you were?
I did not tell you. I did not tell. So here's the thing. And this is my mental illness. And here's an example of my mental illness. Dave has never, he's always taken care of me. He's always managed me, and he doesn't judge. And yet I couldn't tell him that I was going to a meeting because I was so ashamed and I was so riddled with guilt and disgust and shame. I could tell Tiffany because I was like, this bitch knows. She knows. Like, she knows. And she knew for years. And that's not what AA is, not to tell other people that they're alcoholics. AA is there for you to be the hand that helps and guides them when they're ready, but not, it's a, how do they say it? It's not promotion, it's attraction.
But also, I would like to say that you were always very respectful around me and never got wasted in front of me because of my status. So I never saw that side of you, except for the first time I met you at that Unicorn Mon thing.
Oh,
you were
yeah.
dancing like a meerkat.
Yes, I was.
But I haven't seen you because I feel like you've always been really respectful. I truly believe if I had thought it was a problem, even though it is attraction rather than promotion, I would have been like, hey, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
you never, but you had indicated over the years, you've been like, I think I might have a problem. I think I might, but I'm able to not do it on these days. And so I could tell you were grappling with it. So
I was, because I would have these bouts of 30 days. And that's as far as I'd ever go.
Right.
I would literally mark on a calendar. I'd cross out all 30 days. And on that 31st day, I was like, I went a month without alcohol. I am fine. Open a bottle.
Yeah, let's celebrate.
Let's celebrate this. And that's what I did. I would celebrate anything. I would, if I was happy, I was drinking. If I was sad, I was drinking. If there was a milestone, I was drinking.
Yep.
If I was really grappling or dealing with my mental illness, I was drinking. If I felt like things were getting back on track, I'd have, and it wasn't a drink. Now, thank God that I never did anything where I ended up in jail or, behind the wheel or harmed myself or harmed somebody else. But they call that in AA yet. Mm-hmm. Because rock bottom looks different for everybody. And they say the floor will rise to where you're at, and that's where your rock bottom is. And so that's also something that I've kind of struggled with. And we can talk about that, maybe not today, but happy to, share my journey at this point, because I feel like there are probably plenty of moms out there who were doing my kind of drinking.
Is it safe to say that since your first meeting, you've been going ever since?
I have not missed a day. I have been to, so what is today? So I'll have hit 90 meetings in 90 days, and that my 90 days will be September.
Bitch, that's huge.
Yeah, I don't miss a day. So I get up at 6:30. I take my 1,000 supplements, feed my dogs, feed my cats, stick my earbuds in, and at 7 a.m. I'm in a meeting.
Okay,
and then
can we just let that sink in? I think that the people who know and love and respect you are hollering and clapping right now for you. That's huge. You haven't missed a meeting. And I think that needs to be mentioned, because that takes dedication, that takes willingness, that takes willpower. Like, it's amazing. And I'm so frigging proud of you, dude. It's at the point now where, so when my sponsor first told me, you're going to do sponsor.
I have a sponsor.
Let's mention all this. This is big.
Yeah. So I started going to meetings every day, and then I heard a woman speak, and I was like, ooh, I think she would be good for me. And so I asked her if she would be my sponsor, and she's like, maybe. These are the requirements, and if you follow the rules, then I'll be your sponsor. But like, she doesn't mess around, which is the tone that I got from her. So I think it's why I liked her, because it's funny. I'm an alcoholic who loves rules, right? Like, I love rules. I love that rules are there for us to follow, and there's a guideline. I mean, I could talk, because I'm so green at this and I'm so brand new and I'm just devouring the literature. Like we could talk Big Book, we could talk Steps, we could talk the 12 and 12, we could talk Drop the Rock, we could talk. Like I've just been reading non-stop, and she was like, "You have to do 90 meetings in 90 days. You have to text me every single day." Gross. And you. Some of those meetings, she goes, "I'm fine with online meetings, but you have to do some in person. You can't disconnect from people just because there are meetings on Zoom." So I was like, well, those rules sound terrible, because how the hell am I going to get 90 meetings in 90 days? Like I have a life, I have a job. And she's like, this is your life now. And you're going to do 90 meetings in 90 days, or you can find somebody else and they're going to tell you that you're going to do 90 meetings in 90 days. And I was like, okay, fine. So, I came home and I actually told that to Dave, and Dave was even like, damn, like that's a crazy ask. And I realized as I started reading more and more, it's not. It is, we want what they have, and what they have is sobriety. And if you want it bad enough, you will go to any length to not drink. And so I have been doing a Zoom meeting every morning at 7 a.m. I had a really bad week last week. Really bad week. So I missed my Sunday in person and my Monday in person. So I hit 3 meetings on Tuesday alone on Zoom because I was going to drink. Tiffany, the weekend I had, let's see, the air conditioner broke. Sophia dyed her hair red in the middle of the night with her friend, where I woke up to a redhead in my house that I didn't know.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck happened to your head?
Yeah.
And then I looked at her friend and I was like, you did this?
Oh.
You did this?
But
What? But what?
What if they loved it and your response was, what the F did you do to your head? And then
Oh, she did love it, and that was my response. Now, I calmed down eventually, but it was jarring.
I think it's so cute. I really do. I think it looks cute.
Just because it looks good doesn't mean she should have done it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Who
Yeah.
does that?
Right, okay.
Not
yeah,
me.
you. I literally looked at her and I was like, Jesus, Tiffany.
I know. I was gonna say, my friend dyed my hair black in high school, and her mom had to take me to the salon to strip it out because she was responsible. Because I was at a sleepover at her house.
Yeah. Well, the sleepover was at my house. She dyed the bathroom sink, floor, toilet, and tub red. Looked like a murder scene. Looked like somebody had died in there.
Yeah.
So I had to go in there and scrub that top to bottom to get the red hair dye out of everything. It was just one shitstorm after the next. Dave was out of town, so I was here being the sole responsible adult. Matthias's car broke down to the tune of $3,600 down in Miami. The computer broke. The iron at the laundromat broke. I mean, when I tell you it was one after it was like the hits kept coming.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I was like, sobriety is pretty stupid. Because I could be drunk right now and not give 2 shits about the iron or the car or her hair or the dog shitting on the floor. And I sat there and for a minute I was like, nobody's home. Nobody's going to know if I take a drive, buy a bottle of wine, and just pop the cork. And I stood in the kitchen and I started to cry. And I remembered somebody in a meeting saying, they were talking about how they had gone back out, which is the lingo for drinking again. They had gone back out 4 or 5 times before it finally stuck, and it never helped. And I remember the words that this person said, and they were like, I'm so glad that I've got a couple of years under my belt now, because the first 4 times it just didn't stick. It didn't stick. But one thing that I know for certain is that drinking never helped solve the problem. It never fixed the relationship. It never made my life any better. It only made things worse and more complicated.
Absolutely.
And so while I was standing in the kitchen, I said, is drinking going to solve the iron, the car, her hair, the mess that's in this house right now? Is it going to fix it? And the answer is no. It's not going to fix it. So I just fucking went back into the bathroom and I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed so that I could at least do something for the anxiety that was just building and building and building. I put my earbuds in and hit a meeting.
Did you share? That helps too.
So burning desires.
Yeah.
I hate the term.
Yeah, but you can feel it in your loins.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called that.
Yeah. So in my meeting Tuesday morning, they asked, are there any burning desires? And I said, hi, I'm Meredith. I'm an alcoholic and I almost took a drink on Sunday. And this is what happened. And I just fucking diarrhea of the mouth, listed everything. And I said, and none of those things that I just listed are a reason to drink. So I am here today and I am still sober. And in 8 days or 9 days, I will have 8 months. And I'm not giving that up. And so one of the guys who's in my meeting, because it's the same like 10 people in this Zoom that I go to every like Monday through Friday, and they're just great people. And he said, Meredith, don't get off the meeting. I'd like to talk to you just for 1 second. And I was like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, thank you so much for sharing. He said, because even though I've got 2 decades of sobriety, it can be really easy for me to think the same thing. Like, I could drink again. What's the big deal? And then I hear somebody's story and their burning desire, and it reminds me that I have to keep working.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, well, I'm glad you feel better. I'm still working on it. And he goes, but the real reason I asked you to stay was I want you to write a gratitude list, and it has to have 2 columns. And he said, this is something my sponsor has done with me and that I've done with my sponsees. And on one side, the gratitude list is all of the reasons you're grateful for sobriety. And the other side of the list is all of the things that you've gained as a result of being sober. And I was like, well, damn, that does make me feel better, because I can already tell you that the list is long with the things that I've gained as a result of sobriety.
Yeah. I thought he was going to do the other list thing where you write down all the things in your life that you're grateful for, and then you rip it up. Because if you drink, you're losing all of it.
Oh, he wasn't that dramatic with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's dramatic.
I found the text from your first meeting. Do you want to hear them?
Sure.
They're pretty funny. Heading into my first meeting, wish me luck. I feel like I'm going to vomit. And I said, I'm crying. I'm so freaking proud of you, dude. You said, I'm sweating. And I said, is it at noon? It's going to be amazing. People are going to want to hug you and embrace you and welcome. You just accept the love. Or maybe they aren't huggy where you live. But either way, you don't have to say anything to anyone. You don't have to do anything. You can just go get coffee and listen. I'm really proud of you. I know I already said that. But you said, I've been hugged several times already and offered coffee and cigarettes.
Yeah, everybody does offer you a hit of their vape or a cigarette.
You said, everyone is kind and saying hello. Let's hope I don't smell. I am dripping sweat.
It was a shit show.
I'm so proud of you. It just speaks volumes to walking in anyway, even though you're sweating, even though you're met with something that you already don't like, which is embrace, something that you're not accustomed to. Maybe you do like it, you just aren't accustomed to it. But you're going to get accustomed to it in the meetings. I just think it is so brave, and it shows people that you can walk in even if your knees are knocking. And eventually it becomes something that you look to for strength and guidance and inspiration and hope, like a safety blanket.
It's what I only knew what you've shared about AA, because I didn't know another person in AA outside of you. Either I know them and they've never mentioned it to me, or I just have, I didn't know anybody. And then I only knew of what you'd written. And I can tell you that AA has given me a daily directive with how I need to live my life. It literally gives you directions. It is basically saying, we know that you cannot live sober on your own. So here, let us help you. This is what you need to do. And it's just, they talk about how baffling alcohol is. Well, they give you the answer in the book. They give you the steps. Whether or not you stay sober is if you're willing to practice the steps and do the work. Work, work, work. It works if you work it. That's like you just start chirping all of these phrases because you get into these rooms and before you know it, you have these prayers memorized and everybody is hanging around for 15 minutes after to check in to see what everybody else is doing or what's going on. And then you're going out to fucking lunch with people and you're talking to them and they're sharing their story with you. And then you're realizing, oh my gosh, they have the same mental illness that I have, and they're sitting in this chair next to me. And then when I don't show up, they text and ask me where I am.
Yep.
What do you care where I am? And they do. Yep. They actively care. My friend who I always sit at in the Tuesday meetings, I didn't make Tuesday because I had to go to a doctor's appointment in Jacksonville. And she at 12:01, where are you? In a doctor's appointment in Jacksonville. She goes, oh, that's acceptable. Okay. I was like, well, I didn't have a choice with this one. I said, I'm actually hitting a meeting on the way home in the car. And she said, okay, good. I'll see you next week.
Tiffany, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
I can.
Okay, I can't hear you, so I'm just going to talk though. So I just wanted to jump in and ask, I guess, a question. Well, first, I want to say how proud I am of Meredith. She has been incredible with this. The work that she's done, she's not kidding. She's actually up before me every day. And she's done an hour's worth of things before I even wake up, which is insane. And the changes in her 2 weeks into AA were more significant than in the previous year. And the previous year was very significant. So thank you for pushing her in that direction. Sorry. So what I wanted to ask, her being in AA has been difficult for me. Not drinking, because I actually don't drink either. I do what do we do? The THC.
You like THC
right,
drinks.
But the alcohol's been stopped. But it's been difficult in a good way. And I don't know if you have something to share on this. So here's the problem and this is what I've been working on in therapy for the last, I don't know, how long have you been in AA?
It'll be 3 months next month.
3 months, okay. So she mentioned earlier that I've always had to manage her. And I've known her for 29 years. And that's from day one. Right? I think day 3, I started calling her Sunshine because of her sunny demeanor and disposition. But what's become difficult is it's really hard to argue or be upset with her when she has it all together. It's hard because it used to be very straightforward. Okay, I got the logical part put together and she's flown off the handle, and it's easier to manage that than to, oh shit, she's being logical and reasonable and kind and understanding. And I know this sounds really stupid, but it was 29 years of managing the up and down of whatever it was. And it's scary as fuck when you look and it's like, oh damn, she's got it all together. How do I deal with that?
What are your specific fears? Can you hear me yet?
I didn't.
Oh, do you want the headphones?
Sure. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
That's okay. What are your specific fears? Is it now you're out of a job? Is it that the arguments aren't as exciting anymore because she has it together? Is it you don't know your place now in this situation? What do you think your fears are?
A lot of that, actually. You could probably chalk up all of it. I know one of the things that I talked with my therapist was I'm worried that this new version of her will look at me and be like, I don't need this fucking guy anymore. Right? Like I've got it together, I've got it sorted. I can be better without him, especially now that he's the lunatic, right? We've kind of flipped roles, right? Like she's so much better at being emotionally regulated, and mine recently has flipped a little bit, right? So there's a lot of that. And then there's just you want to be angry, and then you look at what she's doing, and it's like, damn, I can't be angry with her. Like she's doing all this shit that she's supposed to. How can I be angry?
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it's confusing.
Is it possible that perhaps you have habituated or become addicted to the chaos?
100%.
Right. And now that that's not there, you're like, holy shit, what am I supposed to do now? And but also in the same token, it sounds like you're saying, like, before when she was a lunatic, I knew she wasn't going anywhere, but now that she's better, there's a chance she might. And
Yeah.
I think that's a totally valid fear. I would definitely explore that, because that sounds like it has to do with like self-worth with the therapist. I would explore the self-worth, self-esteem aspects, so that you're so confident in who you are as a partner and a man that you don't have to worry about her wising up, which she won't, by the way. But also, you should look into Al-Anon, which is specifically for the loved ones of alcoholics. And it's the same kind of thing. It has meetings and references and resources for people who love someone as an alcoholic. Okay.
I'll do that. Yeah, it's definitely what you said, the self components, right? I mean, we've talked to you off this with all I believe we've both been categorized as complex trauma, this PTSD nonsense stuff. Not nonsense. That's not the word I meant to use. I
know what you mean.
Yeah. So it's definitely hits it anyway. So yeah, that was my question.
Yeah, because it's totally valid. And I think we just want to make sure that, we're not derailing her efforts in order to satiate that part of us that needs the chaos. Because that would be a bummer.
Well, we talked to you about the spiraling stuff that I go through, and it's ramped up. It's ramped up as she's progressed.
Yeah, and maybe you need an outlet also, like she has. You need a group of people who get it, like she does. And it's al-anon.org.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Check it out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for being honest.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going through puberty.
So now I didn't hear any of that coverage. I only got half of that conversation.
She said you should listen to me more.
Oh, I should listen to Dave more? That's what you told him?
That's actually not even close.
Oh, not even close.
They must have heard her wrong.
Oh.
No, I basically told him that there's a chance that he might be addicted to the chaos, and it would suck if he derailed the efforts that you're making because of his inability to cope with the lack of chaos. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure
we're addicted to chaos 100%.
Right. So
yeah.
If you're working on it and you're improving and going upward, I think he feels. Is that him?
No, he's fine. He's working. He moved the door, so it's fine.
And he's not working on it. It can feel like he's being left behind, and that can generate fears, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I just suggested he look into Al-Anon.
Yeah.
And so that he can have people similar to us, people who get what he's going through, who understand the complexities of it, and can help him, because he needs an outlet too. And
I completely agree. I think he does have this fear that because he doesn't have to manage my every move now, like what is his role? But
I think that the problem was in him thinking he had to manage your every move to begin with.
Right, but he's seeing it now.
Seeing that he was?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, whether or not you needed it before, I don't know, like the frequency, and I don't know what being managed means. Like you want to...
I just mean because I was using alcohol as a medication. So alcohol is a depressant, right? my mental illness, which we're gonna talk about soon enough. Don't worry, guys. I know I haven't. I'm one thing at a time. Like this one felt like it had to be the first one.
Yeah.
But with the dysregulation of my mental illness, I was using alcohol to depress that. So he was managing me in the sense that because I was really not managing myself and was managing with the alcohol as a medication, he was taking care of them, not that he was taking care of all the things around the house, because I was functioning in that respect.
Right.
But big decisions, when shit hit the fan, anytime things got, started to go sideways, like I was not the person who was running towards the disaster. Like I was freaking the fuck out.
Right.
So now when things happen, I just kind of look at him and I'm like, oh, what should we do about this? Let's figure this out. Like, this is a problem, but we'll figure it out. And he's looking at me like I've got 15 eyes, right? Because he's like, don't you want to throw a fit? And I'm like, well, I mean, I could, but I don't think it's going to help with the broken iron. Like, I think we should figure out like what we're going to do if we can't get these tablecloths ready to deliver on Friday.
Because like you guys should also like, I don't know. I mean, I know what you do in bed at night, but like, I think you guys should also like, would you ever read a book together? Is that lame?
I read all the time, but he's not a great book reader.
Okay, but what if you guys read the book Codependence Anonymous together?
We could. That would be a good one because I mean, we are codependent like none other.
Yeah, I have the book too because I am also. I think it goes hand in hand.
Oh yeah.
Shutting off your brain and just wanting someone else to take the wheel because it's too much. And I think maybe you guys start doing that together. Maybe he feels, I mean, I know how he feels, I'm sure. And I put myself in his shoes and I can envision the fear. But maybe if you guys do some things together, like reading that book together or working together on the book, it might feel like he's included in this new part of your journey. And hopefully he looks into Al-Anon so that he can go to meetings and raise his hand and be like, I don't know who I am now that my wife doesn't need me as much. And there's so many other people in the room who are going through the same thing who can share their wisdom and insight with him.
Yeah, and it hit me when he finally admitted that that's what he was having a problem with. It unfortunately made me feel so shitty for realizing how many years I put him in a position to have to take care of all of the things. That I was like,
but
he doesn't even know how to deal with me now that I'm making good choices. Like,
well, I mean, honestly, I think also it's not, I don't know. I think you just kind of fall into roles. Yeah. And it's not like you purposefully put him in a situation to where he has to take care of an extra kid. I don't think it's that much. Like, I don't think you're completely bonkers and have to be managed every minute of every day.
No, it was more on the, like I said, when shit was going sideways, because like it's not like I wasn't taking care of the house and the kids and keeping the schedule and dealing with the majority of the mental load, and I was definitely the default parent when it came to those things. But when I wanted to punch out, I was out. Like,
that's what you're supposed to do when you punch out.
Right, but I was punching out and drinking. And
I had to deal with major things.
And he had to deal with all the major things, and I would not show up to those conversations.
Oh, I gotcha.
So he was dealing, he
like
was
the
managing.
Finances?
Yes, like I don't know where we bank.
Yeah, no. Same.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like, I can't do all of those things and do that and feel like I can be any bit of a sane person. And I wasn't a sane person. I was literally just using alcohol to medicate the mental illness because nothing else was really working. And now I've sort of found this weird recipe of therapy, AA. I'm almost done with my TMS treatments. Mm-hmm. I have 2 left. I have, my meetings. I have my ritual where I, sit on my patio in the mornings and I read my my 3rd step prayer and my, I go through a list of different ones. I do the St. Francis prayer.
Demands without consideration.
Do you say that again?
You had demands without consideration. You want this.
Yeah.
You want to come to the mic?
No, he was just saying that my go-to was being very demanding without having any consideration for what it meant that he had to do. And then he would have to manage those things. So if I said to him, well, so like I would have said previously, I want you to fix the patio and I want it done by the end of the weekend. And that would have been there's no I want the patio done and this is what I want. And I wouldn't help him. Like I would be like, I've worked all week. I've taken care of the kids. I want you to go do this project. And I would just wash my hands of it. Now, this time when we did the patio project, I was out there with him every minute. And I helped him. And when he'd get on the ladder, he'd tell me, I need this, I need that, I need whatever. And I'd have to go. And I was his little Home Depot helper, right? And I wore the apron and I handed him the shit. And I got to be honest, there were plenty of fights because I was like, I don't want to hand you any more shit.
Well, here's what I think. I think you guys need to replace all of the time that you would normally spend bickering and arguing over stuff with bonding experiences. And I think that if you fill that cup up, the other one will slowly dissipate and whittle away. So if you bring him in on your activities and he comes out on the patio and reads with you, or, not that.
He just said that in therapy. What did you call it? Meaningful moments?
Oh, time?
Yeah.
Meaningful time.
Meaningful time.
Yeah.
So he literally just said that in therapy. He's like, what I want more of with you is meaningful time.
Yeah, because the only time, the majority of the time you guys are interacting, it's either about business or disagreements.
Yeah.
And you need more happy bonding memories.
Yeah.
And so with all this free time now that you're thinking more clearly and logically, he can join in on the parts he can join in on, like reading on the patio or going for walks or whatever. And eventually you just start making good memories, healthy conversations replace toxic ones. And you both feel like you're making progress and effort, and it doesn't feel like anyone's getting left behind. Having said all that, I also do want to make sure that, I always get myself in trouble with my mouth because it comes off so rude, and I'm not trying to be rude.
Okay, well, you prefaced it. Go ahead.
No, I think that would be helpful for you guys.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I keep trying to get him to take me on a vacation. He doesn't do it, but we're working on more meaningful time because I think that's right. Like it needs to be built into the day to day.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it can't just be an escape. Like, oh, we have to go escape, because you shouldn't have to escape your life. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the big things that I'm learning is I was always looking for an escape.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's so common. And I think you guys will notice, like, the more quality, happy time that you spend together, having meaningful connection, you will think of that the next time you do go get in an argument. And you'll remember, like, I actually really love this person. I actually really enjoy their company, and I really want to get back to that. So let's not waste time with this fight.
Yeah. And the patio project was actually really great. There were only a couple of arguments where it was just so hot and we were just had been out there for so many hours. But it was fun getting to do that project with him because the space that he created for me is gorgeous, right? And I have my birds now and I go fill my bird feeders and I get to look at my plants, and I've already watered all my plants this morning and now I have to go back out and refill those birds, man. I got to refill that bird feeder every day. Like they go to town. So, like I have my little routine, and it's amazing the amount of hours you can find in your day when they're not spent trying to escape the day.
Amen.
Like there's a lot of those hours in there that before I was just counting them down, where now I'm like, God, I wish I had so many more. I could do so many more things. Mm-hmm. And, I've always been a person who filled their schedule. I've always been that person, but now I just feel like, gosh, I can do so many more things. And
I love that, Meredith.
It's just been, it is crazy how getting sober and allowing your brain to get healthy can just, when you're a mentally ill person, which I think every alcoholic is a mentally ill person, because I don't think you can have alcoholism without having some mental disorder. That is such a big piece that is needed to go hand in hand with the therapy or with whatever else you're doing for that mental illness, because when you put that mentally ill brain on drugs or alcohol, it can just get hopeless. And you have to let that brain sober up so that the other work you're doing. And that's when I knew, when I had put in so much work on my mental illness, and that's how I knew it was time that I actually got sober and stopped, because it felt like every time I took a drink, I was lying. Every time I took a sip, I was like, you're lying to yourself. And I was... It was the first time in my life that I had gotten so disgustingly, brutally honest in every aspect of myself, with Dave, with my therapist for the first time ever, with just, about life, about how I was feeling, about all of the shit, that every time I drank, I said, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. And then you get this feeling of you're going to get caught in a lie. And I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm lying. I just want to feel like this is going to be better, like this is going to be okay. And I was already putting in so much work between therapy and, reading and doing my workbooks and like, why not put that other piece into play and see what it could do?
Yeah. I just feel like your testament is going to be so powerful, because the thing about you is when you find something that you believe in, you advocate for that thing. And I'm not saying you're going to be like the voice of AA or anything, because they're not thrilled when you do that. But
right.
I think that hearing like, I'm inspired by what you've said today about, because I'm a mom, because I'm stressed, it's okay, because of this, it's acceptable. And you weren't waking up in ditches or strange beds and pissing in places that are awkward, like office chairs in a room full of people who are playing poker. Like, you don't do that. And so it would be easy to be like, so I'm okay. Right. And I think that's what you battle with for so long.
Right. Every time I could rationalize my way out of any situation, because look at me getting up the next morning feeling like shit and still managing to get the lunches packed. Like, don't tell me I have a problem. My kid's fed.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, but your kid is also getting yelled at a level that is got nothing to do with how loud they're being, because they're being a normal kid and you're hungover.
Right.
And so then when you go down into that level. And that was another thing, like, and we don't have time to talk about it today, but you want to talk about something that sobers you right the fuck up. Tell your kids you're an alcoholic. Tell your kids, look at your kids and realize you have to make amends to them because of the type of parent you've been. Yeah, it'll sober you right the fuck up. So, it's
really powerful, Meredith.
It's been an interesting almost 8 months, and you kept calling it the pink cloud, which I didn't know what that was in the beginning. It was nice to be in that little pink cloud, because you thought there's no way I would ever drink again. Like, you just have that indignant, like, why would I ever go back? Don't even be stupid.
Yeah.
And then you have a week like I had last week where you were like, nobody's going to know. Yep. I can keep it to myself and I can show back up at a meeting. And you're like, bitch, you're going to lie again?
Yeah.
You're going to be that asshole again? You're going to do that again? You're going to, all the work you just put in, you're going to give it away for what?
Exactly.
And so I feel like I had to have last week to get myself straight and know that yet is getting tattooed on my body very shortly, because yet is the reality for every alcoholic who is doing their best to be grateful in recovery. Because yet is right around the fucking corner. And if you don't dig your heels in and show up to a meeting and say your fucking prayers, yet will knock on your door and you will open the door and you'll be like, hey girl, hey, and it's done. And then where are you and what was the work for? And I want to believe in my heart of hearts that God was whispering in my ear every time I took a drink and I heard, you're lying. That was God in my ear telling me it's time. You're lying. Don't lie anymore. And it was, thank God. And I'm not saying that you have to, because that's a whole other thing that we can get into at some point.
Yes, girl. Thank you for this caveat.
AA is it is based on a higher power. That higher power does not have to be God with a capital G. It could be the wind in the trees. It could be anything that you desire.
Yep.
The God of my desire, my choice, my hope and strength is not the same as yours, but that's what I heard in my ear. So, and I would never preach that to somebody and say, this is what you have to do, because that's not what AA is and that's not how AA works. And that's the reason AA works.
Thank you for saying that, because
Yeah.
I know it scares a lot of people.
Yeah.
If they're the minute you mention God, they're like, oh, okay, this lady's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, and that is not. And if you give it a chance and you do read some of the literature, you will quickly see that is not what Bill Dubb, the Friends of Bill, are about. Like, that's not what he's saying, and that's not what. And if you even took it, like if you had a thought that you may be an alcoholic, get the AA app. And I can tell you, if you just start listening or reading some of that literature, it clearly states in there that this is this program is everywhere in the world. There are meetings on every hour and on every half hour in this app, in every language you could possibly think of, everywhere around the globe, and it clearly states in there that the God of my choices does not have to be the God of your choice. It is that you believe in a power higher than yourself, and that's simply it. And that's something that I think is fair to say, because they even have the chapters about the agnostics and the atheists, and so don't think that that's what it has to be about.
Yeah, when you first come to AA, generally you're not like, yes, God is amazing, life is
Right.
so good.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? You're like, F God,
Right.
he took all my loved ones. It's
Right.
his fault that I'm in this situation. And then to have people be like, but you have to, it's like, fuck you. So mine has morphed and taken many different shapes over the years. But as the blessings roll in, you just can't deny that there's something working to keep you alive.
And whatever you want to call them, like a friend of mine in the meetings calls them winks.
Yeah.
And it's like
Livers.
like whatever you want to call them, but they're powerful. And then you have a week like I had last week where you were like, don't wink no more.
Yeah.
Like I had too many. It's enough. Like the shitstorm is enough. And then you realize that he's, whoever that higher power is has been there this entire time, and you just helping you walk through it. So anyway, but we got to wrap because it is 10:15. We've gone over, but there's plenty to dig in here, and we can get into it however anybody wants to talk about this. I am going to be an open book.
But
yes.
Can I warn you
Yes.
that try not to get overwhelmed once you put this out there? The emails that you're going to get can be overwhelming, and you're going to feel the need to try to save everybody, and it could take a toll on you. So just be aware that is a potential outcome, and make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I hear you and I agree, but I also felt like it was time, because I don't want to feel like I'm hiding a big part of my life anymore. Because every time I'd catch myself and be like, I'll be back heading to a meeting. And you can't say that unless you preface that with a meeting about, there's a plumber.
Business.
Yeah. And because if you just say hitting a meeting, everybody knows. They're like, what meeting is she hitting? She an alcoholic. And now it's just like, if I say it, it won't be, people will just be like, oh, okay, she's going to a meeting. Like, I didn't want it to become a thing.
Yeah.
when I started to just openly talk about it. So, but I wanted to do it here first with you, and I wanted to do it with our special friends on the podcast, our supporters, and our Patreon. And yes, there will be an announcement, obviously, on the other socials, because I just don't want to hide what I believe to be a very positive force in my life right now.
I would like to again acknowledge Meredith and her work, but I would like to thank you, Tiffany, because your influence, impact, direction, guidance, whatever you want to call it, was a huge part of this. More than you know.
Thank you so much, Dave.
She said, "Thank you, Dave."
That's really kind.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here with us and for being so kind and supportive. I honestly was not worried at all about making this announcement because, are you going to say hi to Miss Tiffany?
Can you see me?
Yes,
Keep her
Ariel,
there.
come here. I'm
Oh,
obsessed.
She
Tell her.
said, "Ariel, I'm obsessed with your hair."
No, I didn't. Okay, but listen, I started talking like a teenager as soon as I
Yeah.
saw her. That's
you did.
embarrassing.
You did. You did.
I'm like, yes, slay queen, work.
Slay.
Bet. No cap. Your hair.
Okay.
Tiffany, while I have you trapped,
Oh gosh.
can we talk health insurance?
Oh my god.
Ew.
I saw my message stayed unread.
I'm sorry, Dave, about that. It did.
I'll call you later.
Okay.
Okay,
He's
thank
going to
you.
call you later.
Tell me I
Okay.
said thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. So join us next week for another episode of Take It.
Or Leave It, an advice-ish podcast hosted by two bomb diggity moms.
Who have
Have
no
no
idea
idea.
what we're doing. We'll see you next week, guys.
So proud of you, friend. Bye, everybody.
What? Don't go anywhere for 1 second, Dave.
I won't.
needs you.
I want to show you my hallway.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna hate it.
Great.
Can you see it?
No, hold on. He's ending. Don't end this stream. Or, yeah, then you, well,
You're gonna hate it.
yeah,
I
end the
love it.
stream. Sorry. And then, but can I still see her screen?